Doom spending is how everyone is dealing with stress. Future is not guaranteed. I guess there's a video clip here.
Doom spending implies something negative, and it sort of is. Basically, it's this term that financial experts are using to describe people who are shopping to cope with their stress about the larger economy.
Millennials and Gen Zers are going viral on TikTok for promoting doom spending. Of course, it would be TikTok. China is going to destroy the U.S. not by military force, but it's going to be through TikTok. That's how they're going to destroy America, is through freaking TikTok. I think the first thing before anything Americans need to do is stop using TikTok. I'm sorry. When members of younger generations are splurging beyond their means to cope with the stress of increased living costs, inflation, and a lack of affordable housing, you shouldn't be spending then if that's... Oh my God.
Home ownership or starting a family is so out of reach that we're using that down payment.
Okay, what did that say? I was listening. A recent credit study found that 27% of Americans are doom spending as a way to deal with stress. Where do they come up with this?
It's so out of reach that we're using that down payment or kid money on whatever it is we can't afford that'll bring us a semblance of the kind of adulthood we were promised.
Invest in your high yield savings account when you catch yourself doom spending.
But some frugal young professionals on TikTok encourage their fellows to redirect their impulse to doom spending. Let me see what she had to say.
Invest in your high yield savings account when you catch yourself doom spending. Doom saving can help offset that loss. Food for thought.
Doom saving? What is doom spending? Doom save? What are you guys talking about? Amid the dark and stormy financial crisis, Gen Z and millennials are making it rain. Oh gosh. I'm sorry if I'm on this website, New York Post. It is just like pop-up hell. I freaking hate this website. Splurging feels better than stressing. At least that seems to be the collective stance of 20 and 30-somethings in the U.S. who've recently taken to doom spending, basically splurging, spending money you shouldn't be spending, their monies on luxury trips, costly escapades, and impulsive delights in an effort to cope with the ever-spiraling economy. Oh my goodness. I feel like there is a reason why they don't teach us finance in our public schools, right? The importance of money, the value of money, the importance of saving money. Like, I'm a millennial. I get how hard things are. But to give up and just spend money and always be grinding and living off scraps, really? Like, you're spending money on luxury trips, like, that's probably going on a credit card. And then you're going to be ending up paying payments on high interest. Instead of saving $2,000 for a luxury trip, it's probably not a luxury, but just a trip in general, you'd rather just put on a credit card and make $200 a month payments because that's easier. Not knowing you're getting screwed by the interest. Oh my goodness. When older people ask me how younger people are affording nice things, I tell them it's because we can't afford anything else. Maria Melcher, 27, an NYC-based financial content creator, explained to a TikTok audience of 1.1 million. It's TikTok again. TikTok. Home ownership or starting a family is so out of reach, continued the Yale graduate. In the clip, this thing is driving me crazy. In the clip, we're using the down payment money or kid money to give our dogs the most enriched puppyhood they can have. Honestly, it's a little sad. It is a little sad, right? That millennials and Gen Zers feel like this. Like, they go to college, they get their degree, and they can't afford things. Now, if they have a degree that's in like a worthless degree, that's a job that's not going to pay any of their debts. I understand it, but I've met people who have engineering degrees, doctorate degrees, who are struggling too. That is what gives me a pause on today's society. It's like, okay, hold on. Things are spiraling out of control. right? There are things that are saturated in education, right? People getting their communications degrees, whatnot. Of course, they're not going to get paid a lot. But to quit on your goals, to quit on your dreams, our generation and Gen Zers are just quitting too easily. Yes, we're going to have it harder than baby boomers. It's unfortunate, but it's something we have to accept. And we have to take it upon ourselves how to not make it so stressful for the next generation coming up. Because we know it's BS of like the situation we're in. And our American culture, we're so nearsighted. We don't look far in the future anymore. We don't look in like the long-term investments we have anymore. It's about the now. What can I get now? Oh, I just have to screw over the next generation? Fine, as long as I benefit. But if we really want to prosper as a great country, we need long-term goals. And goals that we cannot deviate from. Youngish advocates of carefree consumerism backed Melcher's position, commenting, "My mother asking me when I'm going to stop traveling and buy a house. I can't afford a house, but I can travel." Traveling is expensive. And traveling, more than once, that's plural, that could help you save up on a down payment on a house eventually. So it's really looking at your spending. Because to be rich, it's not a matter of how much you make, but it's how much you can save, how much you keep. Gen Zs and millennials are doom spending or squandering their funds on expensive trips and frivolous treats in order to cope with the stress of inflation, high cost of living, and affordable housing. I mean, if you're splurging to feel a little bit better, basically a high, and you're going to try to go for that high again. It's temporary feel good, but you're going to have more pain in the future, greater pain in the future. You're better off just facing that pain head on. Save your money as much as possible. Because crap always happens in life. Random expensive car bill repair. Random bills, like things that just come out of nowhere that you have to pay a lot of money for. Dishwasher breaks, refrigerator goes out, something, right? Something super expensive. If you have the savings, then it becomes an inconvenience. But if you don't have the savings and you have to put it on a credit card, then it's a catastrophe, right? Then you're always going to be struggling. Then you got to pay off this high interest credit card. You're spending more money than you need to. I mean, I'm no financial expert by any means. This isn't financial advice, but this is just lessons I've learned of how to not be broke and stay far away from broke. I'm not rich by any means, but I'm far from broke. If something happens, I can cover it. Future is not guaranteed. It's crumbling before our eyes, wrote a fluttering fatalist. Fettering fatalist? That's an interesting term. Enjoying what we have while we can is the way to go. TikTok. Yep, TikTok is ruining my generation and the younger generation, unfortunately. There's just so much stupidity on there, and people love it. Future is not guaranteed. It's crumbling before our eyes. I just read that. Raw doom spending. Agreed, another. And cash blowing trend is fast on the rise. You know who loves this? People who are going to get rich off you. People who already make the products that you want and you're spending more money on. Your $6 Starbucks coffee, right? Starbucks loves that when you spend way too much money on overpriced coffee or fashion design clothes that you should not be buying in the first place. Research has found that although almost all Americans are troubled by the economy, more than a quarter are blowing their funds on frivolous treats to reduce stress. This is a temporary solution for your stress. As of November 2023, a study commissioned by Intuit Credit Karma found that a staggering 96% of Americans are concerned about the current state of the economy. Nearly half, 48%, of fearful folks say not having enough money to afford necessities such as food, clothing, and rent worries them the most. That's your basics, right? Food, like where are you getting your food? Are you going to the grocery store and shopping? Or are you going to restaurants? Clothing. Are you going to the mall to get clothing? Or are you too proud to go to a thrift store and a Goodwill to get clothes? And rent, I understand rent keeps going up, right? Maybe you just feel like you're too old and too proud to have roommates. If you're in your 20s, I say have roommates. It's fine. Get roommates, save money, and make a plan of how you can reasonably afford a place on your own without roommates. Maybe it'd be good to have a roommate who has same goals as you. Like, not where I want to be right now. It's okay. I feel comfortable saying it, but I want to be above my current situation. Owing the mounting anxieties, over one quarter, 27% of the pessimists, namely Gen Zs and millennials, doom spend to reduce the stress of inflation, the high cost of living, and unaffordable housing. So things are so unaffordable, you're spending your money to have a little enjoyment in life. And this trend is growing because of TikTok. Thank you. Thank you, TikTok. Thanks, China. A prosperity index report by Intuit also determined that 73% of Gen Zers would rather live in the moment than scrimp and save for the bleak future. That's the problem right there. I guess you call me the 27% who saved and said I had enough of this life of just barely getting by, paycheck to paycheck. Said, you know what? Best thing to do is to save, because you're saving for that next huge unexpected left field payment, right? And once you're able to cover that cost when it comes around, it's like you learn something. You learn a discipline, really. I mean, saving money is a discipline. It's a mindset. When you're just like, I'm tired of being broke. And a record 200 million shoppers hit the malls and scrolled the sales between Black Friday and Cyber Monday last month, according to the National Retail Federation. The NRF also noted that holiday spending is expected to reach record levels this season, totaling up to a whopping $966.6 billion, almost $1 trillion. Wow. Courtney Alib, a consumer financial advocate at Credit Karma, said, much like doom scrolling, we're seeing people mindlessly shop to smooth concerns about the economy and foreign affairs, which could take a toll on their financial well-being. Yeah, like, if you're mindlessly spending, how long is that going to last? Until you run out of money, you can't buy any more stuff. And then you're going to be stressing until you get money again. And then when you get the money again, you spend it within a day, and then you're going to go weeks without money until you get paid again. Like, it's a terrible cycle to be in. Why would you want to be in that situation? The financial management company's recent study also determined that almost one-third, 32% of the hedonists have taken on more debt in the last 6 months amid increasing spending. Of those with debt, a quarter estimate, they currently hold more than $10,000 in debt, a significant amount, especially amid record high interest rates, said Credit Karma researchers, adding that doom spending may also impact savings rates. If you're buying things on a credit card with high interest rates, that's going to keep you poor. And you're going to be like the rest of my generation, Gen Zers, on TikTok complaining about how life sucks because you can't afford everything. Well, you put everything you wanted, the crap you don't really need, on a credit card because you were doom spending. Within the last 6 months, nearly half of Americans, 47%, say the amount of money they're saving has gone down, said the author. Right now, more than half of Americans, 52%, estimate they have less than $2,000 in savings or none at all. If you're watching this video and you want to stay away from this statistic of the downtrend of being broke and not doing well. And you're fed up, right? Doom spending should not be on your mind. You should be above this. If half Americans don't have $2,000 in savings, you should be one of those who does. If you get to 2,000, you should learn something about yourself, that what you're capable of doing is saving money. Now, how to get there? Whether it be get a job, maybe 2 jobs, side hustle, spend less, that's a big one. Change your shopping habits. Instead of going to the mall to get clothes, go to the thrift store or Goodwill. Hey, I do it. I don't care. I have no shame. No shame anymore. Who am I going to impress with my expensive clothes? And if there's people who judge me based on the clothes I wear, they're not the type of people I want to be around with, and neither should you. Experts warn that doom spending, although cathartic, could have damaging effects on an emotional shopper's financial future. Yes, your future. Yeah, I get it. It's bad. And the shocking findings are right on the money. In October, Sarah Bartlett, a 37-year-old confessed shopaholic, coped to going into over $14,000 of debt due to extravagant purchases made to boost her likability on Instagram. Let me read this last part. Social media influencers like Kate Crittenden from California have also gone viral for urging fellow pleasure seekers to just book the flight to exotic destinations rather than fret over their crushing finances. If you have $14,000 of credit card debt, it's going to be hell to pay that off. Because clearly you would not rack up $14,000 of credit card debt if you had a really good paying job or if you had really good finances. Credit card debt is just, that keeps you poor for so long. And I've been through it. All my 20s was struggling with credit card debt and other debt, right? But at 37, you shouldn't be there. If you're 27, I hope you learn the hard way. Don't do that again. Do all you can to get out of that. Figure out how can I make maybe an extra $1,000 a month to pay that off. Second job, whatever. It sucks, but actions have consequences. Understand that. Aliv suggested shoppers use cash rather than cards to reduce the risk of overspending. I like that. That's good advice. Have cash on hand so you see how much money you'd rather spend. Because it is mindless to run things on your debit card or credit card, and then a few weeks later you look back and you go, oh my gosh, I have way less than I expected. However, Aliv said that there's hope for spendthrifts wanting to rehabilitate their squandering ways. If you're feeling stressed, you're not alone. There are things you can do to get back on track, she assured. Start by doing an assessment of your finances to understand how much money you have coming in and out each month, as well as how much debt you owe. Aliv encouraged, this will help you make a plan for how you're going to spend your money moving forward. The expert also advised the wannabe budget conscious against swiping. Apparently this person's an expert. Everyone's an expert, right? I'm not an expert in finances, but I talk about previous experiences because I've gone through it. To get in the habit of better spending, consider using cash instead of cards until you get your spending in check, she said. That way, you can limit your chances of overspending. Also, if your card information is stored online at Aliv, you might consider deleting stored card information through your browser to make shopping online less frictionless. That's like having your credit card on Amazon, just oh, bye. I get that. Let's start out with easy, right? Don't spend more than you make. Sounds easy, but it's very difficult for a lot of people to do, right? People They look at the TikTok and other social media platforms. They see a lifestyle that they want to be a part of, right? Oh, they got awesome clothes. I want to get those same clothes. Look at me. No one gives a crap about the clothes you wear. No one gives a crap. And if they do give a crap, then it's probably not for good reason. The car you have. I believe you should only have one car loan ever. Ever. And I'd say you get a car loan, I guess in 2023, let's just say like a, oh man, last time I went car shopping, 10,000 got you almost nothing. I'd be okay with 15,000 to get a decent car. I'm not saying brand new car. I highly recommend not getting a brand new car unless you're like 250,000 a year type person. Have that car, then once it's paid off, that same payment, you take that payment when the car's paid off. You don't take that same payment next month, how much it was, put it in a savings. But get another savings account called New Car. So when it's time for your old car to really, really die on you, you will have money for a new car. You should always save money as if you need a new car. I don't have a car payment. I freaking love it. I love it. And the money I save for a new car is building interest. So I can get a new car sooner instead of paying someone else to get rich and paying interest. Oh gosh, I wish my generation would do less of the whining. I know there's plenty of things to complain about. I get it. I really do. I'm frustrated with inflation. I'm frustrated with how expensive houses are. I get it. But there's also people who are intentionally doing it to screw us over so they can get rich by keeping us down. But complaining about it on TikTok is not going to make the change we need. When we get into positions of leadership, that is our time to shine, to make changes. Or just be like the rest of the crooks and just screw over everyone else for your own personal gain. Let me read some comments. The so-called younger generation sure have plenty of free time to protest about things they have no idea about, but hey, it's fun to disrupt the lives of actual tax-paying citizens while the government gives them the green light. Young people are wise to do this. No reason to own a home. Better to pay off all credit card debts and invest in stocks while living in a nice rental. Take it from a former housing economics who predicted RMBS collapse in June 2027 at ASF annual meeting and develop house price modules. Okay. Any more comments? I feel like doom spending is exactly what Bezos, Gates, Zuck, and all the other billionaires and elites would want you to do, as opposed to using brain. Yeah, something I mentioned earlier, right? The best thing about traveling is coming back to your own home. Future is not guaranteed. It's crumbling before our eyes. Pretty much sums it up. Government is so keen on intervention and spending that you can't think long term. So I buy things that make me somewhat happy now. Vacations, traveling should not be on a whim. It should not be an impulse thing you do. That has to be a very planned event. You should save for vacation. Take your paycheck and you need to cut your paycheck into pieces. This will go to a vacation fund. This will go to a new car fund. This will go to investing. This will go to savings. This is my feel-good spending. This to groceries. This to rent. Not just have your paycheck and be like, oh, let's see if I can make rent this month. Like, I save up for one big vacation a year. You know, I put $250 a month. And by the end of the year, that's $3,000 plus the interest that's accrued on it. It's not a lot, but it's something, right? Covers a meal. That way I have a fun $3,000 worth of a travel expense. But that's just me, right? Other people, they have the ability to save more. Other people can have more fun with less. Let's be creative, right? But what I want to just go down and conclude this video with is that maybe we're just highlighting TikTok too much. I mean, here I am talking about it, right? It's screwing over generations. You know, TikTok is so big. It's probably the biggest social media platform now, right? On mobile devices. And I intentionally don't follow TikTok. I've seen it. I've scrolled through it once. All it is just nonsense and stupidity. You know, a whole bunch of YOLO stuff, like don't save your money type of stuff. It's like indirectly telling you that it's more fun to be poor. That when you're later been in this cycle of it, you realize it sucks. Anyway, I digress. I have nothing else to say. I look forward to reading what you guys have to say in the comments. What you've done. Because I'm sure the people who complain the most are not going to write a comment. They're probably not even going to like the video. They're probably going to dislike this video. But whatever. Like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Bye.